Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com. I'm also the author of the award-winning Fearless Tarot, How to Give a Positive Reading in Any Situation, which I'm now offering signed copies of on my website. So basically, I'm going to pick a random card and then write and inscribe a personalized message to you. So if you're interested in that, they've been very popular. Just head over to ElliotOracle.com and order one. It is time for this week's Oracle Reveal. So earlier today on Instagram, I placed up a photo of 3 different animals, and I asked you to use your intuition and ask yourself which animal's calling to you, because that animal has your message. And the 3 animals were the bear, the chameleon, and the lynx. So if you're just joining me now, ask yourself which animal's calling to you, because that animal has your message. For those of you who picked the brown bear, this card says, take a time out. And bear is all about periodically hibernating or withdrawing or retreating and processing all that you've been learning. So if you're attracted to bear right now, it might be time to seek the quiet stillness, to go into your inner cave and to connect to the wisest part within you. The first card for bear is where it's best to place your focus this next week. And we see the 3 of Pentacles, which is a card of study, learning, and refining. For me, the 3 of Pentacles is also a card of perfecting something. So if there's a skill you're developing, this could be a really great time to learn more about it or to really do that meaningful, detailed work on it. Also, the 3 of Pentacles for me is a card of manifestation, because you can see the craftsman there who's building the church, and the monks that are there are handing him a set of plans. And if you can see on the plans is drawn exactly what he's building. So this card can definitely tell you that it's time to draw up a plan and to really start manifesting the thing that you've been thinking about or dreaming about and actually see it come into reality. Advice from your inner wisdom, if you pick the bear, it's actually the 8 of Swords. And the 8 of Swords shows a scene of fear. This is a kind of fear that can bind us or paralyze us from acting. And sometimes this card is saying that you're needing to get over an anxiety. Maybe the anxiety is about perfecting this thing. And sometimes we confuse perfecting something with being perfect. And it's, if I can't be perfect at it, if I can't do everything right and it's not all worked out, well, why do I even try? Why should I even go for it? And that 8 of Swords is really telling you to be mindful of the thoughts you're carrying at this time. Swords in the tarot are thoughts. They represent the element of air. And although these thoughts are victimizing this poor woman here at this moment, she can also repurpose these thoughts to be the exact tool of her liberation. She can rub those ropes against those swords and be free when she chooses. So this card is really telling you you're needing to inspect again the thing that's making you afraid or uncomfortable. And if it's actually holding you back from perfecting the thing that you're meant to do, it's time to face that fear and do it anyway. Finally, we got the Mythic archetype that is going to help you. And here we see Perseus. And on the bottom of the card, it says courage. And Perseus is all about facing your fears and overcoming them. He's the hero who goes after Medusa, who can represent the fears that we look at in the eye that can paralyze us and turn us to stone. So I feel that there is something important here for Bear to realize about themselves, that it's time to be courageous and go toward that scary thing, because that's actually where your breakthrough is going to be awaiting you. And it's time to stop looking at your fear directly. It could paralyze you. Like Perseus, you might need to use the mirror shield and look at the reflection of the fear, maybe in a deck of tarot cards or in a reading you give yourself or in art or music. But try to identify something out there separate from you that identifies the fear and then helps you deal with it or assess it more dispassionately. Next, we have the Chameleon spirit, and the card says, act as if. And Chameleon's all about manifesting too. He changes his color. He blends in with his surroundings. He's a magical animal. So if you're attracted to Chameleon, this could be a time where you're really conforming to the energy that you're finding around you and meeting the moment, meeting the challenge and raising your energy to meet that as well. And sometimes the Chameleon is all about blending in, waiting, watching before making your next move. First card for Chameleon is where it's best to place your focus this next week. And we have the 9 of Pentacles, which is always associated with wealth consciousness, security, and stability. Like all successful Pentacles cards in the tarot, this does indicate that you're going to have a promised success here. There's something that you're on with your journey that's really going to come into fruition in a beautiful way. However, Pentacles cards that are successful are also requiring you to be patient. There's even a snail on the bottom of this card, which can move very slow. And even the falcon, who's known for his speed, is being restrained by the woman on the card. She's placed a hood over it. She's coiling that energy back until she's ready to unleash it. So this is a time to really focus on your goals, but also be patient with yourself and manage your expectations. Don't try to expect too much too soon. The advice from your inner wisdom is actually the Knight of Swords, which follows this theme beautifully, because the Knight of Swords, he rushes through life. He's racing through his rites of passage. He's not even thinking about where he is or what's happening around him. He's focused on the goal. And in racing toward the goal, he's completely missing being present and seeing the magic that's happening around him at this time. So I feel with these cards, it's like a time to slow down and be mindful of what you're doing right now. Pay attention to what's in front of you at this moment. Stop going 2 years, 10 years ahead in the future. Be now and see the magic that's available to you now. And also just don't rush through this important time in your life. And the mythic archetype that's also going to help you is Demeter. She's the goddess of the seasons and also the goddess of the harvest. And she's reminding you that everything's going to come into bloom at its appropriate time, in its season, and not before. So you can either stress yourself out about how this thing's going to go and get all frustrated because it's not happening fast enough, or you can be mindful of the beauty of this moment and maybe enjoy the afternoon or enjoy the breeze or get outdoors. But it's so important right now that you're being patient with your best goals. And then finally, we have the Lynx. And on this card, it's called a Bobcat, but Bobcats and Lynx are the same. And this card shows the message, life is a mystery. And Lynx is all about the mystery. If you're attracted to Lynx right now, it's a time to trust your intuition, trust your instincts. And this could also be a time when you're receiving like what we'd call like a psychic perception, where you're just getting those intuitive hits and you really want to listen to that. You don't know where the information's coming from, but just let it flow and follow through with it. Also, Lynx is the one who knows the secrets. So this could be a time when people are attracted to you to get to know themselves a little bit more. First card for Lynx is where it's best to place your focus. And we got the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is anchored. He's anchored on this stone platform on his throne. And he's amidst the waves, but he's not swept out to sea by them. And there's even an anchored ship behind him in the distance. And so for the King of Cups, he's really telling you the importance of being in control of your feelings. And that doesn't mean bottling them up or, dominating them with, messaging or anything like that, or trying to brainwash yourself into something. Instead, he's present. Even the King of Cups has his toe in the water, if you've ever noticed that, or just about touching the water. It's time to put your toe in the water with your own emotions, your own feelings. Get the temperature of it before getting swept out to sea by them. And this could also be a time where you're needing to remain anchored or emotionally secure in yourself as there's some shifting waves going on around you. The waves aren't a bad thing. The water, the feelings, the emotions in the tarot are also fuel, and they can get you to your destination if you can harness them properly. So this is a time to really pay attention to your emotions. And here we got the King of the Suit of the Cups, which is all about being a master over your feelings. The advice from your inner wisdom is actually the Ten of Swords. And this shows that some feelings aren't always pleasant. Sometimes life does sting. And sometimes we are run by old traumas or difficulties or challenges that are beneath the surface. And yet the King of Cups stays above it. He's not completely divorced from that reality, but it's also not his identity. And if you're dealing with a trauma or a difficulty or a challenge from your past, rest assured that you are stronger than it, that you still remain for a reason. And that it's so important that you don't make the trauma your identity. It's not you. It's something that happened to you. And so this is a time to really harness those feelings and to persevere anyway. And the black clouds will part and the light will return. And the mythic archetype that's going to help you is Psyche. She is about the soul. In ancient Greece, psyche or psyche means the breath, and it's thought that when you take your first breath, your soul enters your body. This is a time to pay attention to your breath and also get in touch with the deeper part of your soul, because it's going to help you transcend any emotional challenge you're dealing with. And that is this week's Oracle. I do hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, you can always check me out at elliotoracle.com. Otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you again here next time.